Good morning. A little joy. This isn't a sermon. We have Advent sermons coming through the Stronger Together churches in Northeast Salem. I was on the second week one for peace, but this is something else. Maybe it's a blog, maybe it's just some thoughts. I prepared for our weekly Bible study this week at Holy Cross, which we call What is God Saying Today? And the texts were all about joy. And I recorded a kid's sermon about joy, and it seems I still have some things left to say. Joy is hard this year, but it's not absent. You just have to look a little harder for it. My sister gave me 3 goldfinch ornaments this year for my tree. Cool, huh? The goldfinch finally came to visit my feeder this spring when I learned to put out thistle for them. And then the wildfires in our area drove them away. They came back about a month ago, but just for a few days. I look for them when I wash the dishes at my kitchen sink, which looks out on my feeders. But I pray that they are safe and that I just don't know enough about goldfinch behavior to understand why they are so scarce right now. I've been thinking about Zephaniah, Old Testament prophet, who lived in a time when the people of Israel were trying to claw their way back from a time of great fear and a bunch of bad decisions. And Zephaniah talked about joy. Here's what it says in the Message, one of my favorite Bible translations. Your God is present among you, a strong warrior, there to save you. Happy to have you back. He'll calm you with his love and delight you with his songs. Does this speak to you or to me today? Happy to have you back. In many ways, I think folks are returning to God, listening to that voice and finding peace in small moments. He'll calm you with his love. Well, calm is important right now when we are all running to our thermometers, when we have a small cough or a tickle in our throats. Just breathe. God is offering calm to you. Taking walks down streets and paths where few people are so we don't have to worry about perfect mask etiquette all the time. I think God is there, calming, holding our hand. Delight you with his songs. I really miss congregational singing. My favorite church memories of my childhood are of my father and I singing together, sharing a hymnal. He would take the bass line, and I would take the alto, and we would sing, offering our flavoring to the sounds of others singing all around our pew. Can you find God's song in new ways right now? One of the walks I take takes me alongside Silver Creek, and it's been very full lately. The sound of the water cascading over rocks is so sweet. God's song might be in the sound of the wind blowing through the trees near my house. Can you find God's song in nature, in the steady breathing of a small child or maybe a small corgi in your house? Joy for me will always be connected with the singing of Joy to the World as the congregation leaves church on Christmas Eve, as the candles are blown out following singing Silent Night, and the whole church emerges into the world of the incarnation, the birth. But this year, we'll be unable to gather for that moment indoors with 100 or so of our closest friends. I'm thankful for scientists and government officials who have advised us to avoid large gatherings in order to slow the spread of COVID-19. Instead, I will cling to Zephaniah 3:17's opening words. Your God is present among you, a strong warrior there to save you. I'm praying for you, for all of you these days, that you stay safe and do not contract this illness that will threaten our lives. our lives are different now, but joy remains in new ways, in quieter ways, in more personal ways. Praying for your joy this week and always. Bye-bye.